Hello again, guys. Well, I'm back again. I've sewn bits and pieces on, and I was going to start sewing some of the stitching together. Where did I put that? I must have put it back up here. But I thought, while they're individually put together, I've got this really fine. Yeah, there it is. Getting sidetracked. What I've finished doing, see how on that one I did that, I off camera I sort of did all the stitching and then sort of stitched around, but I want to do more, see how I've done sort of stitching on the outside of that. I'm not 100% happy with that, but I'd already started it and I sort of needed to finish because it's just really not the best to work with, this fabric. It's so thick. So I've done it on that as well. You can see on the back I just needed it to be held down and then that to be held down, and then I'm going to do feather stitch or whatever it is around the outside of that. I'll probably do a few different. I love the way that's turned out. I've just stuck that on. So I want to do a few stitches on these first on the outside, and then I'm going to probably start sewing them together, and then you know, maybe put a few bit more pieces. I do like that. I think maybe sort of do another like a yo-yo on that one, but geez, I love how it looks. It's so pretty. I love this. I love how that turned out. Sort of stitched it on there like that. Yeah, so it is so much easier to stitch when together, when they've actually got that in there. So these ones don't have them, and then I had to pull it out of that one as well. So I'm like, I'm probably best doing some stitching on some of these before I put it down, and then I'll stitch them all together. So I've got my book doing the feather stitch. I always have to remind myself how to do it. But while I'm here, show you a bit of show and tell. I got it's called the Rose Garden Patchwork, and it's in the UK, and it's Bell and what's it called again? Bell and Boo, that's it. They don't have them here in Australia, so you know, it did cost a little bit, but when you see the fabric, and they seem to put in a little bit of extra, isn't that gorgeous? I love that colour, so pretty. And little, so just obviously little samples of what else they sell there, but I think I've shown you the other bits and pieces that I got from them, and I've turned that into, that's the Bamboo fabric as well, that I'm you know, stitching together. That's just a little slow stitching project that I'm just doing in the background as I go. It's just, I take it with me when I go out. So they didn't have this particular one when I went to order those other ones, and that's the one I really wanted. I've seen it on Instagram and it is so cute. Isn't it gorgeous? Love it. The little bunnies. It's just so me. You know, tea. It's called afternoon tea. You know, mushroom. Like, it's just this. If anything can represent me in a fabric, this is it. You know, because as a lot of you know, I like some of the woodlandy stuff, and I love mushrooms and bunnies, and you know, I used to sell tea, so I love afternoon tea. This little girl actually reminds me of me. Excuse me, when I was little. It's just gorgeous. I absolutely love it. So I do want to keep this for something special. I don't know what I'm going to use it with. I was actually thinking, because they're quite big pieces, I was actually thinking I might even make a, you know, like a quilt with some of these things in there. Just beautiful. You know, have that as maybe a centerpiece, and then maybe do like smaller little hexagons or something like that on the outside of different fabrics. And I mean, there's so much color that you can use with this. And these are, they're extra wide, so you get quite a bit. And even look at that, isn't that gorgeous? It's just the most beautiful fabric. So for those guys that are in the UK, the what's it called, Rose Garden Patchwork, beautiful. She's got Liberty fabrics and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't mind Liberty, but I don't know, I think I like Laurie Holt and and sort of like this, you know, bright and retro-y type of colours a little bit better, and soft pastels. And this is so pretty. So there you go. So this is something that it's just so cute. I was really happy because they'd completely sold out, because it was a really popular one, and obviously they got more in and there was stuff, and so I'm like, I'm gonna send away for this. Just you know, this is their fat quarter, which is massive, so it's extra wide. So there you go. That's a gorgeous piece of fabric, which I'm very happy with. Okay, now, okay, so what I am going to do is that goes for that. Got so much threads here. I was going to use that one on here, which I will still stick with that, but that's something that I'm going to have to use on it. I just want to stitch that down and probably even use it for that one as well, once that's out of it, because I don't want to take it out. So I've got, where are we, my little thread bin. I wonder if it's in here. The green one, yes it is. So this green one for that, I want it to be a little bit lighter. It's probably a bit too, it's a very quite pink. These colours were for my piece I'm working on for Melanie on the slow stitch. Now, I wonder if that's too bright. No, I quite like that. I think it'll stand out. Sort of want to keep it similar tones, but and I don't have a peachy colour in that at all. No, what about that one? What about that one? Okay, should have got this organised before I started, but I thought I was going to piece it together, but then nope. Nope, nope, nope. Worst case scenario. I've got plenty of colours in this, and I may have, but I like using these because it only use one thread, which is good. Wow, that is pretty well perfect, isn't it? Where's my, just wondering if it's too peach. I've got to look like, I've got to remember it's got to go onto this as well. No, it does work. It does work. I just might use all 6 strands, I think. But I'm just wondering, is it going to be not standing out enough? So I want it to stand out a little bit. That's why I went the lighter colour with that. Because if I did it in that colour, it would not stand out. Quite like that. That might work okay. It's variegated. And it's got peach in it. Well, I'm going to keep that out though, because that would be a really good one to maybe do some stitching on it once it's down. Awesome. Okay, Yeah, I do have a lot of beautiful colours in my DMC cottons. They're just so pretty. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is, where's my cotton? I haven't used this one yet. So I may pull some of that out. I don't want it too long, because it does tend to fray up, like you end up getting knots, which is really annoying. Oh, I really hope, I forgot to put this up. I hope this is not flickering, guys. If it is, I am sorry. Here we go, because if I don't put these up, it can flicker. Not as bad in this setting where I am at the moment, but yeah. Now, yeah, it seems to be a little bit better. So we're already seeing it in that colour, so I do want to work on a different colour. Okay. I'll probably just do a little bit of feather stitching. I always need this to remind me of where to go. Okay. Okay, we start here. I'm just going to start a little bit on the actual inside. Then go here. And then in the middle. My wire stitch. Then I think we go over to one side. And then catch it. Yeah, I think that's how it is. Once you get into a pattern of it, doesn't. And then we go over to the other side and catch that. I think. Yep. Over the top. Now, I do want to keep some of the okay. I think methinks if we start doing that all the way around, okay, and then apparently do another one over this side. That's why I've got you tack it down in the similar tones, like I can see it. Hopefully you guys can't see it, and it's tacked down, and then by the time you do a stitch or something over the top, you don't really see it too much. Oop, missed. Go back under. Nothing's ever wasted. There we go. Yes, that's like a Y stitch. I mean, I probably would do this a lot faster off camera because you get into a bit of a rhythm of it. And then left side, right side. I think it's going to look rather lovely. I think in this book here, that's what she's done. she's done that fly stitch around all of them pretty much. So I'll probably do fly stitch on a few of them, but I just like to try different stitches, and that's why I thought I did do that. But I think I might have tried the fly stitch on that green, but because it's just so fray, like, yeah, it's a real, and I've stitched this down, and I think that one will be a little bit easier to do it on, but this one, see, I'm learning as I go. So okay, well, back to this side again. Like with anything, you can see this is a labour of love. I mean, it's going to be sitting in my lounge room, so like I said, I quite enjoy making things that I know where they're going to go. That sashiko thing is probably going to be a present for someone, which is good, because there's only so much you can keep in your studio, and you either sell it or give it away. Okay, but the fun is in the making. Ooh, yeah, I think that's right. And then as you go along, it's got a little bit of peach, and with these ones, I don't know whether I showed you or not. I'll put that back. I've got these buttons, which I am going to stick in the holes. Might have to take that one off. And I've got the brown buttons are going on there because they've got a bit of a tinge to them. And then the blue ones, these are the antique ones. I've got these beautiful buttons in a big pack, and I just love them. I mean, I'll be sad the day I finish with them. So yeah, I've got these. The blue one's a little bit smaller. The brown one's a bit bigger. Looks like a. There we go. That pretty. So if I stick that in the hole and push that down, I think we might get away with it having a bit of a back on it. But that's a really good colour, and I'm like, do I put them in the holes in the centre? I think so. And see, I've got this fabric here too, because I just thought it was brilliant to have seen, you know, I could probably just do some stitching on there. It's sort of like a guideline, almost a bit like the Sashiko fabric. You know, like that probably would be brilliant to do in between or on, you know, every second one in this colour, just to bring out that colour, and this one, you know, in the colours that are in the background. So you know, this one would be awesome with a button in it. Where are we? Got these ones, see? So that sort of thing. So, you know, this is all the stuff that I'll be doing. Yeah, actually, I quite like that button on there. And these ones, like, can you imagine doing all French knots on those? It would take forever, but it's the only one that has got that. So it would be really pretty to do maybe a few, you know, pick out some of the dots on there and do some French knots in a darker green, since that's a lighter. So there you go, the few things that you can do. I mean, this is gorgeous. I've got that gold, but oh, I hate working with that gold. It's just beautiful as it is. I don't think I need to do it. I could probably do a tiny little button, you know, something like that on there, but maybe in the peach. So there you go. So I'll put these back. Just a bit of an idea of what I'm going to do with it. I don't always just stick straight to stitching, always forever teaching and giving ideas. Actually, that's a really good idea. I don't mind that myself. So back to doing this. I'll just do a few more, and then I'll probably do a bit more in the background, and probably come back once it's got a bit more stitching to it and I'm ready to sew the pieces together. So you can tell it hasn't got the paper in this one, but you wouldn't be able to have the paper. See, the beauty of this stitch going around the corner makes it a heck of a lot easier. So I go up there like that. And then go back, because I always want to pick up some of the from the inside to cover it. There we go. You can see why I like using these, you know, the pearl. It's a bit thicker. Like, it's still the pearl aid, but you can see that this is a thick. It was from a special pack that I bought with all the different colours in it. There we go. Sideways. And then here's our first corner. I think that looks pretty cool. I like it. Okay. Definitely need to get into a bit of a rhythm of it. Things are always a little bit more awkward when you're filming, and I'll get it done a lot faster off camera, but I'm trying to keep it in camera so you guys can actually see it. I can see why she used this stitch on all of them. So yeah, because it sort of grabs both lots, so I think the fly stitch is probably the way to go. On these, I mean, who knows, I may end up unpicking that. Ugh, the thought of it. Maybe I ought to do this stitch on every second one of those as well, just to combine it in. I'm just not 100% happy with it, as you know. And I think once I see all the fly stitch on that, yeah, I just don't really want to unpick it. Once you've got the button and everything all on there, and I've done a few like running different stitches, it'll all fit in. So there you go, guys. Oh, actually, while I'm here too, I went to the Crafty Squirrel, that place where I got the Shishiko thing, and bought a charm vintage pack. So these are all vintage sheet squares. So pretty. I'll just quickly show you those. I'd like to keep them the way that they are on the top. It just looks really nice. And she's got it in all the different colours. Love that one. That's probably why I grabbed it. So you got this. That one. That one. There you go. You get a little bit of show and tell in this one. Not sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but I just feel so soft. She's obviously, you know, the vintage sheets stories people could tell with these bits of fabric. You know, quite retro, 60s, 70s by the looks of it, some of them. Very different for me to buy this sort of stuff. I'm not really into the 70s, but the colours are just really lovely. And I thought, since they're pre-cut and there's only small amounts, and when you're doing slow stitching you don't need a lot, and I thought it'd be nice to just, you know, I just love vintage fabric. It feels so good. So she's got some of these packs. See, I'm not an orange fan. I know Jeanette would like that, but when they're worked all together, they do look lovely. Very 70s, this one. So yeah, let's see, I love that. The pink, so pretty. And that. Is that the wrong way? I don't know. Very bright. Some of these colours actually match that. Then she's got purples, so pretty. So there you go. And I think there might be 26 or whatever. I'm actually looking at this fabric, not quite big enough. Beautiful, just beautiful. I think that's the wrong side. There we go. Oh yeah, because it was on the back, so that's why she had it turned around, so that you could see the pretty fabric on the other side. So there you go. That's my little... I went out on Saturday with my craft group. We haven't been able to get together because you can't do a lot of indoor stuff, and now the restrictions are sort of easing up a bit. We actually went to a cafe, and like it's quite a big one, and stayed there for about 3 or 4 hours and just had lunch and did stitching. It was great. And then afterwards we all went to, because some of them hadn't heard of the Crafty Squirrel, so I was being a total enabler, and yeah, we went there afterwards, and I'm like, oh, got to get me some of these. Okay guys, well thank you very much, and I will catch you in the next video, where I've done a little bit more of this stitching in the background, and yeah. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.